shopkeepers, our folks in the neighborhood. We're here. We are here. And people, people need to know that. We haven't gone anywhere. We're here. The only people missing downtown are the ones who are coming downtown. Thank you.
I think this is a twofold problem. I think there's two areas that we need to look at. Number one, we're looking at Vision Fairbanks, and that's downtown, and we're also talking about the neighborhoods. I've served with Terry as council representative on the Weed and Seed program, and it's been very effective, and it's becoming even more effective. And when it moves, once this area we feel has become a success, we have the opportunity to move from that to another area. And we can move throughout town and let people in the town itself take ownership and responsibility for the area of town they live in. And I think all in all that it's a wonderful program, and I think it serves our immediate needs.
I have a question. I don't live in South Fairbanks, but I'm over there. My church is over there, and a lot of things over there. And I know that some of the people that live over there say when things are happening, they call the police department or whatever, it takes them longer to get there than in other parts of the town. So as mayor, what do you plan to do about something like that, fire department, whatever situation, whatever they need, it takes people longer to get over in that area of town than it does if you call, like say we said over there, or either Kyle or whatever, what it's Carson said. So I know you said downtown Fairbanks, and that is Fairbanks, but what are you planning to do about something like that?
Excuse me, you're saying in South Fairbanks, it's
Yes,
the timing factor as far as policing goes, for police to get there as far as the complaint goes?
I missed the word, what did you say?
Yeah, are you saying South Fairbanks, you're saying that it's the timing problem for the police to
There's
come out?
a lot of things going on there, and it's different, they're served different over there than other parts of the town. Like I said, I don't live there, but I know of people that do.
Well, that would be something I think is necessary to be looked into once again, that if I was elected mayor, I would have some type of a conscious fact-finding commission to look into the police department. With no bars hold.
Well, you see, it's supposed to have already been looked into, but the situation hasn't changed. So you can always look into something, but if the situation hasn't changed, it doesn't matter how much you look into it.
Well, I'm pretty boisterous and loud, and I would make some changes. Thank you.
It's an issue everywhere in town. It's with the police department, how it's structured is a question that all the mayor candidates here are going to have to face. And it's kind of like, from military experience, I look at it as the roving patrols. If you have people in the area on a fairly irregular basis, they can then react to what's going on. But you do have to have in those areas. You have to plan it well in advance. You have to have an organizational structure in the police department. But I think it has to be more geared in the tactical sense as a military structure, and that is that they have to look at the areas and have their patrols increased where they know they have difficulties. And what that does, it gives them pretty instant access to an area. If that area declines in incident value, then it moves back to a different patrol. But right now, as far as I know, none of that structural tactical element exists. It's more a standard police department, and we don't have a substation on the south side or anywhere else.
I would step up to the answer on this one too. Is one of the problems that it does exist that you're talking about, and one of the main reasons it exists is we have 46 police officers right now, and in 1977 we had over 70. It's the reason that we're not getting responses in a different area. And last winter, the area I live in was very heavily vandalized and robbed, and we ended up starting a neighborhood watch to try and help the police curtail the problem. But the problem in there lies that we have a lack of officers. We could use 20 more police officers. Therein lies the fact we have to find a way to fund it. So it would be a major thing for the mayor to take and find a way to fund additional officers. Now, we have funded 2 new traffic officers through a grant. And through that grant, those 2 traffic, they came with 2 police cars, I might add, too. And through that grant, they're willing to pay for themselves, but it still costs us for additional, because of the work they create, it costs us additional people in the city clerk's office and additional people in the dispatch office. But we got a grant for 2 more. So we're trying to build our police department up with the funds we do have available. And it's just a lack of funds being able to put enough people on this.
Thank you, Virgie. That was a really good question, because I think it's really important to remember that the city of Fairbanks is not just downtown. It goes all the way out to Pega Road, University Avenue, so it is a big area. And when I become mayor, I will be a very big advocate for our public safety. Our police department is grossly underfunded. They are not even, all they're able to do is react to crime. There's not even a component of prevention. And I believe that while grants are a good thing, they're not sustainable. They're only going to last for 5 years, and then what are we going to do? I believe when the community sees that those extra police officers have made a difference in our community, people will be willing to step up to the plate and do whatever it takes to do to help fund those.
Did you want me to answer?
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll be brief. I know that the increases that we have had at the city in staffing, the majority have all gone to dispatch and police. And funding is the issue, a sustainable funding. And again, like I said about fire service and the review committees, we have to choose as a community the standard of service we want delivered to us. And I hate to say it, it always comes back to how are we going to pay and how are we going to fund. And I think you're absolutely right. The area at South Cushman has been neglected a lot, and I'm ashamed by that. Thank you.
May I say something again? You know, I understand that we are underfunded and everything, but you know, what's so funny about it, other part of town, even though we might be underfunded, but they get the service if they need it. So, you know, everybody tell me it's underfunded. I understand that. But your part of town or another part of town, if something happened, they are there. So, you know, that's a cop-out to certain degree to tell me it's underfunded. And I understand what you're saying.
Well, I just realized, Virgie, when I was listening to everybody else, I lost sight of your question. So let me answer your question. When we have a problem like that, I believe we have been working on having a citizen complaint committee to look at what is going on and why. And that would have to involve Chief Hoffman also to look and see what and where our officers are and why the response time is so low. Where are they driving? How are we going to, you know, do we need to change the pattern of which they drive and what areas they're in? They do keep statistics on where there's crime. I do believe it's broken down by day, time, and the whole bit. So there is a way to look at that. If that formula, or if that is not being paid enough attention to, that would have to come directly and go directly to Chief Hoffman and say, look at this, these are the complaints we've got and why. And I would expect to see a change in the patrol time, because that's, in essence, is what happened. They're having a hard time getting over. They're not over there. And that may be the problem. Sorry. I'm not answering that.
I would like to say that I believe there is a serious problem when it comes to prioritizing when it comes to crime in our community.
Yes.
Thank you.
It is 1 o'clock. I'd like to thank all 5 candidates for coming out and answering your questions and briefly introducing themselves. I think we've just had step in the room some of the city council candidates.
Yes, yep. I invited all of them.
And let's give them a couple of minutes if you're willing to briefly introduce themselves. And again, nice round of applause for the candidates for city mayor.
Pleasure setting up here. Would again like to encourage you to volunteer to sell raffle tickets or to buy one yourself as well. The first prize is $10,000. There are only 500 tickets. You have a one